What is it? It's in
Good evening, everybody. This is Daily Recall for June 16th, 2026. I'm Tom Stoukas, coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario. What's going on today? Just everything's going... It's going to shit. That's what's going on. Canada. We got this... we were talking about this Bill C-34, this internet thing to ban kids from social media. Then they're doing all sorts of bills. So yeah, welcome to Commie Canada. It's not good. Let's just start. I want to see what's going on here. Also, I saw this other video today. It's kind of something I can relate to. It's kind of went viral. This guy in the bathroom with his daughters. And there's this big argument over, he was in the ladies' washroom with his daughters, and that's the argument, is whether he should have been in there with his daughters or where they should have took him to the men's room instead. So yeah, it was a pretty popular video today. Holy shit, I got a lot today. All right. Let's just start. There's the video with this guy. So basically, he's using the women's washroom. He's at a rest stop. He's with his two young daughters, and instead of going and bringing them into the men's washroom, there's no family washroom. Sometimes they have like a family washroom where you can have privacy. So instead of bringing them into the men's washroom, which is gross. I've done it once, and I won't do it again with my kids. What he did is he probably opened the women's door and made sure nobody was in there. I've done that before. I said, "Hey, is there anybody in here? I got my daughter." And then come in, and it's like, "Quick, hurry, let's get this done and get out." And I've had women want to use the washroom and see me and say no problem, and had no problem with it because they saw the little girl there. Like, it's not like I'm in there for fun. So yeah, especially these days, you can't send, like, you're afraid to send them in. You never know who's in there, or who's hiding in there, what's going on. And mine's a little older now, but she can use it with me standing out there if I know for sure it's empty and there's no people waiting in there. But anyway, let's watch this video. So a guy's bugging him because he's using the washroom, and his invalid wife wanted to use the washroom too. Anyway, what do you guys think? So he ends up calling the cops.
There is a man with his 2 little girls using the women's bathroom. Wash your hands, baby. He is. He's washing his hands.
So he's calling the cops on this guy.
It's all right, baby.
Making the kids cry.
She is waiting to use the restroom with her mother, who is very ill. Wash your hands. And who is on oxygen.
It's okay. Some men are just immature.
And he's refusing. He's taking his sweet time.
I have 2 girls washing their hands.
You let this lady, this woman she's a woman. She can bring her daughters in here. She's a manager of the QT.
I'm their
You
dad.
can ask her. I understand. And you don't have any business bringing her into the women's bathroom.
They're girls. They go to the women's bathroom.
As soon as he leaves the women's bathroom, I will. I'm standing in the doorway. And he's taking his own sweet time. Hey, sweetheart. This is ridiculous, man.
I am so sorry.
See, the woman's not worried about it because they know.
Here you go, Brad.
You dry your hands? All right, come on.
But yeah, that guy's kind of a prick. Even if you don't think the guy was right, you don't do that in front of his kids either. He's just a total prick, this guy. He's probably just having a really bad day. He's probably sick of caring for his wife in the wheelchair. He's probably pissed off.
You can video me, okay? And you got a shirt
on me?
Yeah, well, stop videoing me.
He's probably pissed off that he has to take care of his wife in the wheelchair all the time, so he's going to snap on the first guy he
That's
sees.
ridiculous.
I got it on video.
He's a white man. He's about 5'10".
The cops are probably like, you're calling the cop? You calling us for this? Serious?
I know. She's trying to get into the women's bathroom, and she can't. He's out now. He's standing.
He's
here
out.
videoing
Big
me,
deal about me taking my little girls
justifying what he's been
to the
doing.
women's restroom. Because he wants me to take them to the men's restroom.
I'm just standing here.
Probably a weirdo that wants to see them in there.
Anyway, I did that once. I took him to the men's once, and I would never do it again.
Do I need to speak to them?
So
Because
So that was going kind of viral today. But I don't really care about this incident. I care about the general debate is like, if you're a single dad and you have girls and they're too young to go to the washroom themselves, what are you going to do? You could take them to the men's washroom where there's guys hanging out with their schlong hanging out. Or you can just say, hey, I'm going to just do it quick in the women's. I hate it. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. So, and, you know, the societies, it's not just the father, but the decision by society should say, what's the priority here? And the priority should be the 2 little girls, not the lady in the wheelchair. Sorry. She can wait. She's not going to die. Keeping them safe. Anyway, this father was on a road trip with his 2 young daughters, and they needed to go to the restroom, so he stopped at a QT, and they took him in the women's restroom since no one was in it, and a man came yelling at him to get out and call the cops. Girls were crying, and then he assaulted him. So, yeah, this guy's just miserable prick. Boomer mentality on full display. You know, they only care about themselves. They don't care about the little kids, you know. Okay. And There's people are saying you shouldn't have done that. You should have went to the men's washroom. Trust me, they shouldn't be in a men's washroom. You never know what kind of weird shit that goes on in there too. You know, you can be having the girls in there, and then some couple dudes walk in, and you got to fight two dudes in the washroom with your kids there. You don't understand how it is being single father. It's hard. Especially with all the weirdos out there these days. You're paranoid. All the time. I'm paranoid. I see everybody as like, oh. Okay. So, some people say he shouldn't have done it. Some people say good for him. I've done it, so I'm not gonna apologize for it. Obviously, I would rather have a family, like a private washroom, like a family washroom, like a non-gender washroom for families and changing babies and stuff. But sometimes not every place, like the McDonald's I take the kids to, doesn't have that. So now she can go in by herself because, you know, it's McDonald's. I know who's in there. I kind of make sure there's nobody in there, but I stand right outside the door. But when she was younger, she wanted me to come in with her. What am I supposed to do? Kids, they want you to come in with them, you know, at a certain age. These ones are still young. They're not old enough to go in, I don't think, by themselves. Next. Say liberals are busy censoring speech. So this is about the liberals. The flurry of like all the stuff that's wrong with Canada. High house prices, out of control immigration, economic recession, and this is all they are worried about is censorship and hate speech laws and BS. It's ridiculous. It's gonna have to get out of Canada if this keeps going. C9, combating hate. C10, Broadcasting Act update for streaming regulation. Online Streaming Act. C11, C16, Gender Identity and Human Rights. C18, Online News Act for Platform Compensation. C36, Online Hate Speech. C63, Online Harms. I don't think the C63 is going anymore. And then you have the one with the 16 and unders, C34. So holy shit. All of this. All right. If a new political party is to emerge in Canada, it should be a nationalist party, economic policies oriented towards workers, small businesses, skilled tradesmen, middle class, socially conservative, non-interventionist. All of these ideas are currently missing in Canadian politics. Like I was just saying, they're not working on anything like that. They're working on censorship and just government control of everything. News, free speech, all that. They're not working on the economy and the housing. And well, I don't want them to work on housing, but they're just destroying everything. And conservatives aren't doing much to stop them at all. They're doing a very horrible job if they are trying to stop them. All right. Next. 2 suspects charged after Pride flag burned in Markham. And who was it? It was Seper Abadar and Mohammed Radmard. So yeah, it's funny. The left-wing LGBTQ crowd wants the mass immigration, and then they bring in the mass immigration and they burn their pride flag. That's pretty funny. All right. They spend so much time going after white supremacists, Diagolon, but they don't know who they actually let into the country. All right. Next. This is funny. This shows some of these women here. Oh my God. We have these women in Canada. Some of the ones in Europe, they're crazy. After a migrant stabbed 3 children outside a creche, I don't know what a creche is, in Dublin, Nearby women formed a protective barrier around him, with one telling those attempting to kick him, "We're not savages here." Court has heard that the Algerian, he's originally from Algeria, began the rampage over anger at social welfare rejection letter. So yeah, the woman's like, don't beat him up. We're not, they should have beat him up because they're not going to get any justice in the courts. He'll get like nothing. All right, some just don't get it. They don't get it. I saw this video the other day, North Bay, Punjab. Seriously, this is crazy. Can you imagine? I don't even like cops. White cops tell me what to do. I don't even want to listen to them. Can you imagine one of these guys? Like, stop right there. We're screwed. And here's Roman Baber complaining about all the stuff the Liberals are doing. Shutting down debate to ram Bill C-22 through the House. Despite C-22 violating our charter rights. But yeah, these Conservatives had a chance with the budget. And they played their games behind the curtains to keep the government going. They're useless, these Conservatives. Okay. All right. Here's John Paul Berg. Bill C-9 is going back to the House of Commons after passing through the Senate. It's presently awaiting final approval of Senate amendments in the House before receiving royal assent. This is unapologetically Orwellian by its very nature. This is the hate speech law. Hate is subjective emotional response. This will be weaponized to silence political dissent. Any deviation from their rigid and radical neoliberal orthodoxy will be construed as misdis or malinformation. Any criticism of the immensely detrimental mass immigration policies will be construed as hate speech. Yeah. This is tyranny. Be emboldened, be defiant, and be steadfast in your resolve. So yeah. Seriously, all the problems Canada has, and this is what they're focused on. All right. This is horrible. I saw this story today. Adoptive father guilty of baby boy's murder. Oh, God. 2 men adopted a baby. Post-mortem examination identified more than 30 external bruises, as well as internal bruising to his mouth, throat, internal bruising to his anus, bowel, and bladder. What the hell, man? Lacerations to his anorectum and perforated bowel. So basically, they did horrible stuff to this baby. This is a couple in England, but they call me crazy, but probably the gay couples shouldn't be allowed to adopt babies or breed them like they've been breeding them with surrogate mothers. I don't know. Doesn't sound like a good idea. All right. Next. Here's Andrew Lawton complaining about the Liberals' Bill C-22. I don't know what good the Conservatives are, to be honest. They suck. 10 years of losing elections. Over the last decade, CPC, they've been useless. Either they suck or they're running cover for the Liberals to destroy Canada. So it could be a little bit of both. So, all right. And Pierre, he's been awfully silent on this, all this stuff. Especially the one that just came out. He hasn't said shit. All right. He's talking about something else. I don't know what he's talking about. Cars, used car, tax on used cars or some shit. Oh my God. I don't know. Okay. So there's the guys. The gay couple that totally murdered that baby. Abused that baby. That's the woke thing. They said, we gotta let the gay people have the babies. And this is what happens to the baby. All right. Okay, next. There's Pear now. 11 years of debt and liberal debt and taxes and inflation. The golden years for Canadian seniors have become a nightmare. He's talking about this liberal recession is not technical. It means seniors on the streets, families going hungry, and young Canadians putting their futures on hold. Sign to reverse it. Sign it. I don't know. Useless. We need a good leader. Someone, I don't know. Okay. Next. More conservatives bitching about Z22. That's all they do is bitch. There's nothing they could have done. The time, the chance they had to do something, they didn't want to do it. So there's Eric Lombardi. He's running for Liberal leadership. I don't know if he's going to win. He's saying he was in London, downtown London. He says it's a total catastrophe. He says, plight of Ontarians suffering from severe addiction and homelessness has become a huge problem everywhere. 2 years ago, when I last visited London, I thought it was getting rough. Just like so many of our urban centers under the Ford era's provincial decline. But downtown London now, it's dystopia. I feel completely disgusted that we've allowed it to happen. Yeah, I used to live in downtown London, right at Richmond and Dundas, so like right downtown, and I lived there for like 4 years, and I didn't have, this is like 20 years ago, didn't have no problems. I loved it. It was great. Cheap rent, everything there, as soon as you get out your door in the street. But yeah, it's gone to shit, London. I don't know who's running that town. Same as Sarnia, I guess, but on a bigger scale. So yeah, it looks like The Walking Dead now. London, Ontario. Used to be classy city. Okay. Next. They're the liberal leadership race again. Someone else, the other guy running, Navdeep Bains. He used to be a former Trudeau cabinet minister and a Rogers executive. So there's two reasons not to vote for him. And obviously he's a Sikh, so I'm sure he's going to try his best to turn Ontario into India. So that's another reason. Former cabinet minister who dropped out of federal politics 5 years ago is the frontrunner in Ontario's Liberal leadership race. So, yeah, I was joking. I said it's just a matter of time before Ontario gets an Indian premier, but they're trying their best. The Liberals elites are trying to push this guy. I don't think he'll. I don't know. He sounds a little sketchy. This guy. He's got a lot of sketchy business deals. They'd love to put an Indian guy in premier in Ontario. Oh my God. Last thing Ontario needs. I don't see anybody coming. That's good. All right. Let's see next. Never forget what the Canadian government did during COVID-19 vaccine protests when they targeted unvaccinated citizens, froze bank accounts, and shut down access to their money. So, why does that matter? Because of all these new laws that they're bringing in, and Carney was one of the main people for that convoy thing. He was calling us terrorists. So now he's in charge, and he's doing all this new legislation. Like, it's going to make the trucker convoy crackdown look like a picnic. All right, there's this guy again. Like, this video was everywhere today. Father takes his daughter into a woman's restroom during a road trip, leading to a confrontation when another one. Okay, so this guy didn't take a side. I said, as a single father with two young girls, I've done this because men's washrooms are gross. I always check to make sure it's empty. This old guy is being a miserable prick. Yeah. I would have punched him out. Okay. Here's another reaction. Disgusting. One nonsense. He was just taking care of his little daughters. A dad was traveling with his two little daughters. So yeah, she's obviously in the dad's side. Okay. There's Doug Ford. Destroyed Ontario. Ontario Premier Doug Ford admits Greater Toronto is dangerous and out of control. Ford blames a soft on crime Liberal government approach, which is allowing hardened criminals to get weak sentences and making bail.
Cells. We built a nice jail, very nice jail up here. Matter of fact, it looks like the Four Seasons Hotel. I'm not sold on that. When people commit crimes, they shouldn't be in this fancy dancy jail, but we're going to invest in it. And let's see what we do with the old jail. Do we renovate it? Because we need more cells. We put $1.2 billion to build a new state-of-the-art Thunder Bay Correctional Complex. That's a lot of money to keep the bad guys in jail. $96 million for expansion projects at the Thunder Bay Correctional Center and Kenora Jail as well. So we're pouring money into the jails. What I'd like to see is the feds change some of the laws. And I'll just speak. You may not get as many home invasions here as they do in Toronto and the GTA, but it's out of control. We need mandatory sentences. If bad guys are, the federal government controls the criminal code. I'll build more jails. They keep throwing people in jail. That'd be great. Keeping these terrible people off the streets and terrorizing neighborhoods. It's getting really bad in Toronto and the GTA.
So basically he's saying it's getting really bad in the Toronto and the GTA. And he's not taking any responsibility. He's been premier for almost 10 years. But he's going to blame everybody else. And he was buddy-buddy with all these guys. Chrystia Freeland, Justin Trudeau, Mark Carney. He's saying how great they were, and now he's blaming them for Toronto's mess when he's been premier with a super healthy majority for 10 years almost. So yeah, he's just a fat traitor. He can't take no responsibility for his failure. I mean, he was bragging how he's pouring people into Ontario from all over the world. He was the courts, I guarantee if you go talk to a court worker, they say they can't keep up with the courts. Like, it's all a mess. That's provincial. And then when criminals aren't getting prosecuted, when their court cases are taking 3-4 years, that's provincial. Of course they're going to have, no fear of the consequences. Plus mass immigration in criminals that he helped bring. So yeah, it's pretty rich hearing him blame everybody else. So that's what I said. He helped turn Ontario into a third world province, and instead of taking responsibility, he blames the others. He blames Trump. Now he's blaming the Liberals. It's ridiculous. And he's done all this woke crap in the schools. He did the COVID crap. He's useless. This guy's useless. He's like it's like the premier has no power in Ontario. That's what he's saying. He's like, I'm just like a mayor here. The mayors have no power. Here's another one on the guy, the single father. This dad was just trying to keep his 2 little girls safe on a long road trip. He checked the empty women's restroom and took them in. No family option, and men's rooms aren't suitable for young daughters. Out of nowhere, an angry old man storms in, screaming for him to get out, calling the cops because his wife needed it. Girls start crying in fear while their dad stays calm and protective. Store manager even apologized and sided with the father. So yeah, whoever says this guy did something wrong doesn't have kids or doesn't know the struggle. The single father. Next, this is interesting. Apparently all these shootings of synagogues were like, the police are saying, the Toronto police are saying that they're connected to a criminal network paying young people to commit these crimes. I was like, who the hell is paying for this? I was like joking. I said Mossad, because they like to cause havoc and misdirection. But, you know, it could be anybody. It could be Iran. It could be just shit. It could be Soros. Could be Hezbollah. I don't know. I don't see the point of... I don't know. Who? Well, maybe we'll never know. But it's crazy who someone's actually paying people to, especially younger kids under 18, to go shoot up synagogues, cause shit. And then that cop got shot, so they're saying that's part of it too. The shot and killed.
Superintendent Matthews for more.
Let's see what's
Before
going
I
on
pass
here.
it over to Chief Superintendent Matthews for more details, I want to address a broader pattern we see here. What we are dealing with in this case and in other unrelated incidences, including shootings at synagogues and Jewish schools, is a recurring and similar modus operandi, and that is criminals for hire. Through encrypted messaging apps,
who's hiring
young
them?
people are hired to carry out attacks against various targets. And in order to get paid, they're required to film their attacks. Who is paying for this? This is what we are trying to determine, including by working with our RCMP and FBI colleagues. Now, I know there's been a lot of reporting about criminal groups and foreign actors, but what I can tell you is that we are still working actively to investigate who is responsible for orchestrating these criminal acts.
All right. So, yeah, I'd like to know who's doing it. We'll see. See if they find out. But that's kind of ties into the youth criminal justice thing too, like how the criminal organizations will use the younger kids because they know they won't get in trouble. But I guess they could rat them out. I guess they wouldn't tell them who they are. That's why they used WhatsApp. There's another one. Who do you think's at fault here? I think everybody's just using this video for clicks, but I've been in this situation, so I haven't had a guy bitch at me. I've always had women who, if I had most of the time the washroom was empty, I never had a problem. But the odd time there would be a woman who was coming in and like you're 30, you're going as quick as you can, so it's not. And they were always cool. They understood exactly what I was doing. So I've lived the situation. So okay. So yeah, not only in Canada are they doing all this crap against free speech and BS, hate speech and control of the internet. They're doing it in UK, Australia, France, New Zealand. So all four of these men, so this is France, Canada, Australia, UK, but you can add New Zealand in there. Trying to control the internet, censor and suppress opposition, flooding their nations with incompatible immigrants. Yes, it's crazy. All right, and there's that one. Toronto police say they believe young people are being hired to carry out shootings at targets around Toronto. I wonder who's doing the paying. Okay. Mossad? It could be. Could be anybody. Okay. There's this, remember this story we were talking about yesterday, this 12-year-old charged. 12-year-old boy faces attempted murder and assault of a peace officer charges after a Toronto police officer was struck by a stolen vehicle on Leaside Bridge. The police shot at the vehicle, so both officer and the boy are taken to hospitals. I don't know if they shot the kid or if he was hurt in the car, or if it crashed. I don't know. But isn't that crazy? 1:30 a.m. What's this 12-year-old doing at 1:30 a.m.? Where is his parents? Who are his parents? All right. Here's this guy again. I would rather a father take his girls into the woman's room and hold my piss for a few minutes than those girls be exposed to men in the men's room. See, that's what that's the women I ran into. They thought like that. She's right. The girls come first. The women can wait. And most women understand that. Obviously, that guy didn't understand it. That old prick. Look at this. He's probably just sick. He's probably having a bad day. He's probably miserable. He's probably angry, and he just said, I'm going to take it out on this guy. Federal government is conducting a survey about immigration. Leftist activists are flooding the survey. Let them know how you feel about the government's approach to immigration. I tried doing this survey, but I don't think it worked on my phone. All right. Look at this guy. Guelph, Ontario. Poor Guelph. So apparently this guy he's been convicted of sexual assaults or some kind of things against strangers in downtown Guelph. So I don't know, I'm sure he goes, touches them or grabs them, whatever. It's crazy. I'll read the thing. This is what compassionate liberal justice looks like in Canada. An Ethiopian man. Is he Ethiopian or Eritrean? I think he's Eritrean. I read the article, but anyway, what's the difference? Same thing. Ethiopia with a rap sheet full of stranger sexual assaults, endless court order violations, and zero respect for public safety gets what? A downtown Guelph ban and 9 months minus time served. He's not even from here. Somehow he's still in Canada sucking up taxpayer-funded services while terrorizing women. But deporting him, that's too mean. Liberal policies aren't protecting citizens. They're importing and coddling violent garbage that belongs on a plane back to where it came from. Enough. Deport them all. Lock them up forever. Stop sacrificing safety for this suicidal open border insanity. Canada is turning into a nightmare for its own people. It's pretty bad. The women of Guelph can't go downtown without being molested by this weirdo. So apparently they can't send him back because and I read the article, I believe it's Eritrean, which is right beside Ethiopia. So because his country is a total dangerous shithole, we can't send him back, so it means we're stuck with him. So I don't know. So 9 months in jail, 3 years probation. And look at him. This guy shouldn't even be out on the street. He shouldn't be out on the street, but in downtown Guelph. All right. It's ridiculous. So he's multiple sexual assault charges. Apparently he can't be deported because his home country is a dangerous shithole. So Canada. And there was another guy from, I think Eritrea or Ethiopia. One of them, I think it was Eritrea again, in Calgary. And he was in a road rage incident and he flashed a gun at somebody, a loaded gun. And he came here as a student, visa, whatever, and he can't get deported because of his country's too dangerous, so Canada won't deport him there. It's ridiculous, man. We need to ban immigration from Africa because there's 1.5 billion Africans that want to get the hell out of Africa and come here and rape women in downtown Guelph. All right. Oh, God. This is a gross thing. We haven't talked about Indians all night. It's crazy. Well, we did talk about Navdeep, the Indian premier wannabe. This is whacked. Mandeep Singh was witness masturbating while staring at a park employee. When caught, the van sped off, crashing through the front gate of the park. Mandeep Singh, 31, charged with indecent act in public and careless driving. Let's read the story. Why not? troubling incident at Fitzroy Provincial Park. The OPP have charged a 31-year-old man after getting a complaint from a park warden about a delivery driver performing a lewd act. Police say while making a delivery on May 28th, the suspect was seen performing a lewd act while staring at one of the park employees. Whatever, I don't know. Oh my God. When the woman... See, this is where I'm talking about women, and it's not funny, I shouldn't joke. But women in Canada have to watch out for this shit now. They can't go downtown Guelph. They can't go to the conservation area or the provincial park without being traumatized. Because I'm pretty sure she's traumatized. Police say while making a delivery, the suspect was seen performing a lewd act. When the woman noticed what the man was doing, she went for help. The van sped off. He probably did he even zip up his pants when he sped on June 2nd. Okay, so crashing through the front gate of the park in the process. On June 2nd, the same individual returned to the park to make another delivery, and he was arrested 3 days later. So what they think he returned to make another delivery? So do you think, oh, they're just going to forget it? I'm sure they'll forget about it. Mandeep Singh charged with indecent act and careless driving. Deport. Okay. Mandeep. Don't do it, Mandeep. And here's the final thing. Has Pierre said anything about digital ID yet? I'm going to miss having a bank account. He's been very quiet. He's kind of like boxed in the corner because he's gonna say, if he goes against it, they'll say, oh, he doesn't want to protect children. I don't know, but he's been off. Carney's been outfoxing him for the whole year, so we need a new leadership in Canada, big time. This guy ain't gonna do it. Look at this guy. Does this guy look like he's gonna save Canada? No. No. All right. That's it for tonight. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about Friday, June 19th. Hopefully some good news sometime. One of these days. So until then, have a nice night. We'll see you then.